It's an overcast but very bright morning. So like 9, I think 9 something. Anyway, so today I'm going to do a fairly quick review-ish, spoiler-free review of the leaked footage from the season finale, and I'll talk about the rest of the season, of Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. So, a little bit of a revival, reversion, or whatever, of my previous statement to Thomas Astrick, because much like the fandom in the past few years, much like the Monty Python sketch of, get on with it. I'm sorry, let me indicate the veritable emotion that the average Ladybug fan has for the 3 seasons worth of plot development. Get on with it. Basically, that's how the fans feel. Just get on with it. So, finally, in season 4 and 5, we see some actual development. Character development, plot development, in any shape, way, or form. But finally, we are having something happen that sticks, that isn't removed or undone or anything like that. Seriously? I thought I plucked this. Anyway, that's better. So, in honor of a decent review on my new phone, I'm going to wear my old reviewing clothes, which is just basically my dress clothes, or my good clothes. Some of the card, even though these haven't been ironed at all, but still. So I look a bit more proper, There we go. See? More proper already. Now, color me surprised when I saw it says leaked footage. I thought that might be some fan thing, But apparently it is true. These are the rough animatics of the Miraculous Ladybug. The last last 3 episodes. So I'm just like, ooh, please continue. Okay. So, I know, I kind of look like the cinema snob in this. Kind of comb my hair a little bit. But anyway, yes, the animatic is pretty basic. I think it's fan dubbed, I would believe, as well as some of the underlying not theme song but melodies in the background, which is fine. It's all fine. But it has the surprise twists and turns and everything else, and you're just like, I was just like, what? Okay, so let's get through the series proper. Basically, the development, and I'll try to be as vague as possible for the final 3 episodes. But basically, the rest of the series, up until Kwame's choices read in the near future, Adrian and Marinette will basically be suffering horrifically because they cannot move forward. They cannot, like Marinette says, in the chopped up episode, or reordered events of the episode Elation, where, Marinette tries to move on from Adrian onto Cat Noir as Marinette. First as Ladybug, knowing she can't get anywhere because she constantly kept telling him for about 4 seasons to kind of kindly step off. And now it's, oh no, it's really in love with you. So having that backfire, she then uh, tries to advance on him as a marionette. That falls through because Cat Noir doesn't feel like, well, wait a minute, this is a power dynamic, or this is the wrong kind of dynamic. This isn't fair to you. So having that in mind, they suffer. They both suffer until Kwame's choice, where Plague and Tiki says, our bearers are suffering. We cannot do this. So why don't we just, you know, give this to somebody else who's clearly not in love? So Tiki goes to Anya, and Plague goes to Zoe. Zoe's adorable. I love her character and her design. Nice cheeks. Anyway, uh, so Kwame's choice comes and go, and they're free to be together and be civilians now. And then they kind of fall in love, and that's for the next, I'm guessing, couple of episodes. And I believe they get their Kwame's back at some point. Not entirely sure where, when, but I believe it'd probably be in the immediate next episode, or by the end of the immediate next episode, or some episodes down the way. I'm not entirely sure, but they get him back, and during the Red Moon episode, Felix comes back and has this plan to erase everyone in the world. And since he got rid of Ladybug, quite frankly, he bothered to have a superpower in a way that actually made sense and could not be defeated at all. Shows he actually bothered to, get this going. But since some people, I forget who it was, but asked him, can you bring back Marinette? And he says, okay, Marinette, reappear. Marinette, reappear. I can bring back anybody I want, but why can't I bring back Marinette? Because Marinette is under Ladybug, so therefore he can't. So he's like, no, I don't have as much control over my powers as I thought, so I'll just undo it all and just give up. And have a bit of a character growth, I guess. Anyway, during that, he kind of has a dance with Kagami and realizes he kind of likes Kagami, and Kagami kind of likes him. So they start their romance from the Red Moon episode on. And then events happen where Adrian and Marinette are together, getting closer to hold left hand up. Because before she was saying, I'm not allowed to love you. And she kind of says, I don't love you. And now it's like, okay, now I have the capacity to. I'm not going to explain myself, but I have the capacity to. So he has her raise her hand, saying yes or no. He says, yes, I do want to be with you. Yes, I can be with you now. No, I'm not going to explain myself, but yes, I want to be with you. That'll stick. So they're more together. We see them on the picnic. And we see development, which is what the series is asterisk, finally getting on with it. Until, what was it? And I don't know which order these episodes are, but, we have the return of Dark Cupid. We have the return of, a couple of other classical villains. And some new ones. And other episodes I have no idea what anything's about. I think Disney Plus is going to be streaming this, I think, because they have the bulk of the series, and Netflix and everyone else only has like 2 seasons, so, well, whatever then. So I guess it's just on Disney Plus. So some episodes later, so I guess we'll just go to the final 3, because I have nothing else really off the top of my head what we talk about the other episodes for, other than they are plot development and character development. So we have the story and character arcs kind of coming to a conclusion, because at the beginning of the season we have the invention of the rings, and it's like, okay, so this is just him producing power, blah blah blah. No, actually, this is for an actual diabolical plot that he's actually been tediously and meticulously forming and put together. So everything he has learned from the heroes is now being put into use. So his diabolical plan of taking over the world first starts off with Chloe being somehow, it must have been a rigged election, must be, but she somehow became mayor. Why? I Not sure, but she's now conceded, so she's full on, full time supervillain, or at least petty dictator of all of Paris, France. And so, yeah, Chloe was like the first distraction slash step in his plan, and then for whatever reason, she has like a detention center place where she just sticks people. I don't, but somehow the Kwame powers can go through robots now, apparently. So they can be sent to the detention center where giant screens are saying, "You're uh, so ridiculous," over and over and over again, pretty much. Um, so Ladybug and Noir kind of deal with that, and then step two of Monarch's diabolical plan is to spread misery and nightmares all around the world in order to get people to rely on the Reliance Rings' calm, soothing voice. Just listen to my voice, and because I know you like things like calm blue ocean, or imagine yourself doughing bread. Yes, just dough the bread. So they be this soothingness to them, so they always have the ring close to them. So everyone would be seeing their nightmares and stuff. Like everyone's having basically like flashbacks, pretty much their own worst nightmare. So the whole world's going through that, and we're like, okay, so he's causing chaos. That's his further diabolical plan. Like, okay, so where's this going to lead? Okay, you're paralyzing the world. Okay, you're giving everybody PTSD. Okay, like now what? Well, and apparently this is the diabolical part. Uh, Suddenly, for whatever new version, reason, magic, technology, blah stuff that wasn't really 100% this explained, but just described. This is what it does. Suddenly, everybody in the world becomes akumatized into some blank. Remember Squid Games with those guys in the pinkish red jumpsuits with the round face masks that was the symbol on it? Well, basically, they're all the guy with the O, pretty much. That's the best I could get out of the animation. This is all just the outline drawing animation, so that the CG artist will know what to draw, or the style at least. So, or what to animate. So, this is very bare bones. You don't get a whole lot of detail. So basically, everyone turns into those type of like putties from Power Rangers, where everyone's like the stock, basic humanoid, featureless thing with superpowers, which were then tricked into believing that that Ladybug and Cat Noir has kidnapped Adrian and Kagami because, oh, I'm about to get into this, but Felix and Kagami have accelerated their relationship to the point where they want to run away from their parents, controlling parents and everything else. And Marinette comes across, in some reason, Adrian's backsliding into obeying his father again, so he had to go to England, or whatever. Yeah, in England. So he's over there for an episode. What? But all the while, Marinette's freaking out and sees Adrian off in the crowd, which really it's Felix. They take her to the arts and crafts room, where they play a projector and mime with blank masks this story of, well, basically it's Felix's backstory, to get her to understand why Felix has done what he's done and why he's such a dick earlier on. And so she's like, oh, so this was all part of the plan. Me losing the Maracas was all part of his plan. Okay, at least if you bother to explain yourself. So he explains the whole thing with like, oh, okay, now it all makes sense. And you want me to help you in some regard. I'm not sure what the heck they want her to do, per se. But I guess it's defeat Monarch and keep Paris safe, pretty much. Anyway, so Adrian's having PTSD flash forwards of him being, Cap Blanc, pretty much. They do use the red screensaver of the blown up moon from the episode Cap Blanc, so that's in there. And he's clutching a dead ladybug in his arms. No, and all that stuff. So Adrian takes off the ring and says, "I'm concerned for my powers here. Give it to Ladybug." So at least then it will be in better hands. So yes, Ladybug does combine Plague and Tiki to create Lady Noir or something like that. So, and all the while, Lyra, she's talking on the phone with somebody saying the war has just begun, and is masquerading as someone else for some reason. I don't know. Maybe she felt that she's been too much known as a liar and manipulator, I guess. So now she's cut her hair like really super short and been wearing a wig this whole, I don't know, but she takes off her hair and throws it in the garbage. Um, and puts on contacts, but still acts the same, but goes by a different name to the exact same classmates. So I was like, how are you not realizing it's the same person if they act exactly the same? But whatever. So she's been also culminating her plan in all this. The point where she, during this big epic, like seriously, even as an animatic, a really epic battle where Marinette finds out truths. Little Ladybug finds out the truths behind everybody. Everybody practically knows everybody knows everybody's secret at this point. Almost everybody's. And, this epic fight between Lady Noir and Hawkmoth, Dark Shadow Moth, and Shadow Moth. So this big epic, just like the opening of season 2, where Gabriel was turned into that bookkeeper guy with the throwing frisbee book. With this epic fight scene in the mansion where it just goes through everything. Oh, and the kids have mastered when they were captured earlier. They both Ladybug and Cat Noir saying, "We're running out of time. Oh no, our suits are disintegrating off of us. What do we do?" It's like, no, we gotta force it to. And then they will it back, and they say, "Oh, don't have a time limit anymore. We've overcome this through sheer strength of will." I guess. I don't know. They just say strength of will. And so yeah, Ladybug, Lady Noir, apparently has no time limit or restraint, so she can just just speed run through cataclysm after cataclysm without having to de-transform and feed Plague or Tiki. So her constant, cataclysm, Marcus Ladybug, and then just cataclysm. But all the while, during that fight, Lyra manages to break into the Agrest mansion for nefarious means. Which isn't too surprising. It's Lyra, for crying out loud, But no real surprise. Chloe gets defeated, and the bourgeois, Mr. Bourgeois, finally says, "You know what? I'm actually going to be a father and ground my daughter for once." So it's like, well, finally. So, there's a scene where Adrian confronts Chloe about her. I remember. I know everything you did to Marinette last year. Like he wasn't fucking there. It's like, yes, you were there. Remember, you were there. You know how she treats people. So anyway, Chloe then says, "I don't need anybody." Then later on, when she's defeated, she's alone. She goes on the Alliance ring and I guess calls up Marinette, I guess. This is also the story arc of Marinette kind of calling everybody else out on their bullshit. Calling on Chloe, saying, "Sorry, Chloe, I I guess she's like the only person with compassion that will show her compassion. It's like, no, you squandered that, you know. So tough. I believe it's how it goes. I don't know. It's a little confusing there, but basically, I think she was trying to reach out to somebody that would show her compassion, and that person said no, because you're a jerk. Uh, and then she would tell like Gabriel, if I remember correctly, the fan dub does hold up that Marinette says when she's kind of told politely to please leave the Regress Mansion after finding out that she's dating Adrian by this point. Oh, yeah, they are dating. They are actually dating by before this story arc. By the last 3 episodes, they are actually dating. They consider themselves a couple, and have declared their love for each other. And so Marinette calls out Gabriel for being a bad parent because she says he uses too much flour in his pancakes, not enough butter. That's why they're bitter or something like that. Says I'm a baker's daughter. I don't have to taste them to know that. Like she could just eyeball it that that's too much flour. So, um, so Marinette's confidence is bolstered throughout all this. Which is going to need because with all the PTSD going on caused to everyone else. Uh, so it's epic fight in the streets, epic fight in the Gabriel Mansion, this and that, boom, boom, bap, boom, through walls, collapsing floors underneath you. Oh, it is a fantastic fight scene. I mean, just oof, they really put an effort into this final showdown, into to feel like a final showdown. Like this is it. No holding back. Like no more, no mercy. Just go. And then the last 10 minutes start, and the resolution to the whole thing was rather quite nice. It feels warranted. It feels like this. This feels proper. That this just feels kind of where we've been going for the past 5 seasons. You know, Basically, you could sum up the first 3 seasons in one, really. But whatever have you. But yes, the ending is well made, well executed. I am just on pins and needles waiting to see the next installment. Next installment, like the next episode. I want to binge watch this season if it comes out, and I finally get back onto Disney Plus. I am going to binge watch this when it comes out in a few months, probably around July of next year. Probably around the Anime Expo. Maybe I'll just download it the whole thing on the phone and then just take it with me to the expo and just binge watch it. Then, while I'm stuck in line, at least give me something to do. Those are some long ass lines, just letting you know. So it leaves off in a good place and also teases for the following seasons because it ain't over yet, folks. It ain't over yet. But I won't spoil that for you or how it's going to be. But trust me when I say it is setting itself up and actually progressing nicely. But yes, it's setting itself up for rather quite a bit of awesomeness. Excuse me. So, from the fans, on behalf of the fans and the fandom, to you, the production team of Zag Studios and Thomas Astrick and everybody in between, thank you for this fantastic franchise. And yes, please give us 2 more seasons of awesomeness. If this is what you can bring to the table, please continue to do so for those next 2 planned seasons. I, a loyal fan, shall be waiting in the wings for your upcoming plans for the adventures of Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. Oh, and the movie will be coming out if that's playing anywhere near L.A. or whatever have you. I'm gonna go see it. All right. So, if not sooner, because I think it might be March. I'm not sure, but anyway, I'll go see it in the next 6 months. So yes, so take care, and as always, see you at the movies.